We welcome you into another season preview here on the Carlow Sports Network, looking at men's soccer for the 2024 season. Sean Meyers joined by their head coach, Allen Duda. And Allen, how's everything going with you?
Well, it's going well. I appreciate you doing this for us.
Absolutely. Always enjoy talking to you. It means that fall is on the horizon. But before we look ahead to this fall, let's look back at last year. The men's team won 2 games. They also tied a match. How did you evaluate the performance?
Yeah, last year was a tough season for us joining a new conference in the AMCC. Saw quite a few different teams that we haven't seen before. So it was a big challenge for us. But overall, just getting through the season, playing the way we did, I thought we did well.
I would imagine it was quite an adjustment period because you're seeing new teams, you're seeing different styles of play, and it's also geographically a little bit different as well. Did you feel as though it was kind of a feeling out process learning the new opponents?
Yes, kind of. I mean, we had seen a few of the teams prior years, but joining a new conference, seeing those new teams, and like you said, there's different styles of play was definitely a challenge. But it's an exciting time for us. I mean, we're happy to be there.
Obviously, it comes down to what you do on game days, but a lot of the work that dictates wins, losses, or ties is done during the off season. So, what has been the focus throughout the off season for improvement?
Yeah, a lot of the players have been getting together at local fields, getting familiarized with the other new players that are in the area, and just getting together, getting that the team camaraderie together.
From last year's team, about a half dozen guys moved on due to graduation. What are you going to remember most about that group?
Um, their leadership, the style of play that they played. We catered a lot to the seniors and the graduate students that did move on. But happy for them, but excited to get this season off to a start.
And you do return quite a bit as well. So, who are some of the key returners that you look at?
Got some good players coming back. Connor Sayer is going to be a key player for us this year. Having Gavin more come back is going to be exciting to see what he can do. So, and we have some new players coming in that are going to add value to those returners.
With the players who moved on, I would guess that at least temporarily there was a void with the leadership. So, how do you feel about the leadership right now, and have you seen players step up in that regard?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're looking for a few players to step up into that role. I think seeing Connor Sayer, what he's done in the off season, is really taking that role on.
So, you have newcomers that come into the program. How much do you count on them? What expectations do you have for the people joining Carlo this year?
Yeah, we've got some of the recruiting class. There's some really exciting players, and I really can't wait to see what they do. A couple transfers, a couple first-year players, and we can't wait to get started.
Well, you mentioned you had already seen some of the AMCC teams previously, but now that you do have that first year behind you, looking at the landscape this year, how do you kind of handicap things in the AMCC?
There's some real good competition. It's going to be a tough battle for us. We're not in a rebuilding year, but we're learning. We're young. It's going to be a challenge, but we're definitely up for it.
Before you get into AMCC play, you have the non-conference schedule. What were the goals and objectives with that part of the schedule?
Yeah, I mean, we like to see different teams. We try and schedule some USCAA since we're affiliated with them. So try and play those games, see some different styles of play, and get some of the other players that might not be playing, full 90 minutes, get them some playing time as well.
Well, speaking of 90 minutes, one thing that was very apparent last year was the change with the elimination of the overtime. So, as a coach, did you notice the strategy change quite a bit? And was that something that you kind of had a feeling out process in that regard as well?
Yeah, I mean, strategy changes a little bit because, I mean, you want to get that win in full 90 minutes instead of trying to get it in overtime. So, yeah, there's a little bit of strategy to it, but, you want to get that W.
When you think of this year, and obviously this could change as the season progresses, but as of right now, what do you have in terms of the goals?
Um, well, we need to score some goals. I mean, we struggled last year with a few players graduating the year before, so scoring some goals is going to be a key factor for us. We need to score to win. Defensively, I think we're pretty strong in the defensive line in the midfield, but we're looking for that attacking third.
Is it fair to say that in your experience, you do set goals before the season, but then maybe change them as it goes along, or are you pretty steadfast with what you establish?
No, I think goals change as we go along. I mean, we may hit a goal in the first month, but always looking for challenges.
You have a terrific assistant in Carl Zappa. He's
Sure.
been here 10 years now. What are his best qualities, and how do you two work hand in hand?
Yeah, I mean, his relationship with the players is tremendous. I mean, he's a great asset to the team. He's been here at Carlow longer than I have, so it's having him know what Carlow is about and being able to relate to the students is great. He's a professor here on campus, so yeah, he's definitely a great value.
Lastly, fill in the blank. It will be a successful season for Carlo men's soccer if,
Wow, I mean, we have a lot of ifs, but I'm going to say if we can get in maybe the top third in the AMCC.
well, fingers crossed that that ultimately happens this year. Alan, thanks so much as always for taking the time to do this.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Allen Duda, head coach for men's soccer here on the season preview. We go along here on the season preview looking at Carlo men's soccer for the 2024 season. I'm now joined by Gavin Moore, a grad student and wing for the Celtics. First off, thanks for doing this. How's everything been with you?
Pretty well, pretty good. Can't complain.
Well, I would hope that you're not going to be complaining too much during soccer season. We hope it's a good one for you, and it was a good one last year because you led the Celtics in goals and points. What was key to your offensive success?
I would first and foremost say my persistence. I got a lot of minutes last year, so just having like the opportunity to keep making plays and just having the opportunity to keep making like certain decisions on the field, and also like just being, I would say, just selfless. So like giving up the ball and then like making my certain runs to end up scoring.
I would imagine at some point you became a marked man in terms of the scouting report for the opponents. How did that change what you had to do?
Um, I feel like I had to struggle with that in high school as well. I would say two most important things is composure and also again selflessness. Composure on the ball is one of the most important things in soccer. So, if you're gonna have more attention on you or stronger bodies on you, then you have to know how to stay composed and have the ball on your foot well. And also just passing the ball. I know that if I'm gonna have more attention on me, then passing the ball off to my teammates more can, kind of diffuse that.
You had 9 points last year. Obviously, people know that you can produce offensively. What's maybe a part of your game that doesn't get as much attention?
I would say, although I'm a winger and passing is like a big part of my position, I feel like my crossing is underrated. Um, I would say like I get a lot of through balls, so like I'm always like running, 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 and then trying to like shoot it or maybe get like a little pass. But I would say like my long balls and also just like being able to cross it and switch the field is like important.
I think most people here at Carlo agree the move to the AMCC was a good one. Obviously, a lot
Mhm.
less travel.
Yeah.
What were your takeaways from that first year in a new
Um,
conference?
I would say the competition first and foremost wasn't as um, I would say as severe. Definitely had like a lot of had more teams that were, I mean, they could have been playing at like D2, D1 level. So I would say like the competition wasn't as like difficult, but also just like traveling as well, like that kind of made it easier in a way where we could kind of focus more when we're at home and not have to have that stress of like getting out to a field that we're not like kind of familiar with and just, moving forward with that. Yeah.
What team and individual objectives have you set for 2024?
I would say most importantly, my technicality and like my technical abilities. I'm actually been training with Kevin, a former soccer player here, former goalie here, and he's been just trying to train me on like my technical abilities, my passing, dribbling, just all like the little things that really makes like a soccer player like kind of just different from the rest, and also just working on things that like I'm already good at, but that could be better.
You're a veteran, so I'm sure you have your eye on the young players trying to help them acclimate. Is there any newcomers that have impressed you so far?
Um, I feel like we didn't get too much of like experience with the younger players yet, but I'm excited to see the new goalie, Zach. I mean, he looks like he's a very dominant kind of guy. Looks like he wants to play, very outgoing as well. So I think that he'll fit into the team very well.
What makes Highmark Stadium a special venue?
I mean, besides from like how beautiful it is with the city, I would say I've been playing there since I've been a freshman at Carlow. So I've had a lot of memories just being at practice and being at games. So a lot of my favorite memories were kind of just held there. So I definitely like hold that close to my heart.
I'm sure you're embracing every match upcoming, but is there one in particular you're looking forward to?
Definitely. So again, my friend Kevin, former goalie here, he's actually going to be a coach at La Roche, a goalie coach. So I'm most excited to play against him because, it's going from like a friend to a foe kind of thing. So I think it'll be a fun matchup.
A little extra motivation, I guess,
Yes,
that's your
sir.
end.
Yes, sir.
Lastly, what's your favorite aspect of this year's version of the Celtics?
I would say a fresh start. I feel like in past years, like we might have had players where, it could have been like a negative outlook from upperclassmen to coming down to the freshmen. So it kind of just set like a bad tone for the season. But I think with like a lot of new fresh players, we can kind of like move forward from the past and just kind of see a future what we can do better.
Hopefully, plenty of positives to come this year and beyond. Gavin, thanks so much for doing this.
So thank you.
That is Gavin Moore here on the season preview. We continue here on the season preview. Sean Meyers joined by Nico Bell, a senior defender for the Celtics men's soccer team. And how's everything been with you?
Good, good. Working hard on the off season, enjoying the nice weather that reminds me of Florida, and it's looking good.
Yeah, it has been beautiful weather. Before we look ahead to this season, I want to focus on last season. How did you evaluate your performance?
Overall, I think I could have done better. Had a few rough games, bad situations. Looking to make that come better and help lead the team to success and provide more opportunities of scoring and work on my defensive abilities more and secure more wins for the season.
Well, I know you said work on your defensive abilities. During the offseason, how do you try to hone a skill like that? What do you do specifically to get better?
Well, defensively, it's kind of hard to hone in on stuff like that working alone. I try and do some technical stuff with like passing and zone work, maybe some aerial like headers and stuff like that out of the box, just to get a tapped in with it. But a lot of technical stuff and positioning and watching film, trying to see what I can improve on in season and work on that during the preseason.
Well, you mentioned preseason, in season. I'm always curious to know how the workout regimen varies from during the off season to what you do in season. So, what are the biggest differences?
So off season, I try and go a little bit harder, try and prepare myself for the preseason. That way, know I'm in top shape. I'm ready, and I can stand out for the coaches and display all of my abilities and to the best of everything. I also want to set an example for all the younger guys. I'd like for them to see me as an example, as long as all the other upperclassmen. I want to pave the road for them so they can achieve greater things in the future to come.
Well, I think you maybe just highlighted the fact that you want to be a leader. What do you envision for your role this year?
I just want to be the guy that pushes everyone to be their best. I want everyone on the team to be a leader, not just myself. We got great names and great people that can help each other. Just to put out a few, Connor, Gabe, Gavin are three that are close with me, and I know will push everyone to be better and work hard during the season.
What do you have for goals in mind in terms of individually and for the team?
Uh, Individually, I do have goals, but I'd rather have more team success. I want to have a positive record. Uh, would like to cut down how many goals we get scored on and increase the amount of goals we score. Individually, I'd like to be uh, one of the top guys in the conference. I want to stand out. Hopefully, try and pave my way to try and get to that professional level.
When we talk about the Celtics, we always talk about Allen Duda. He's the head coach for both the women and the men, so he's a very busy man. What are his best qualities?
I like how he can be strict with us, but also that he's very down to earth. There'll be some moments where we need to be a lot more tightened up, and he'll tighten us up. Um, and he's just a great man overall, good coach. Wouldn't want anyone else.
Do you ever wonder how he's able to do both head coaching positions simultaneously?
Sometimes I do wonder that, but he's just calm, cool, and collective all the time. He knows what he's doing. I don't have any stress and don't doubt him. I always trust what he's got to say. Um, and he's got the experience, so works out.
What do you like most about the sport of soccer?
So for me, at least in my family, it's everything. My family's from Argentina, so I grew up with soccer. I've been playing since I was 2. Follow it, follow my team. Argentina, I go wherever they go. River Plate, go wherever they go, and I'm always around it. Uh,
and it's just been in my family for years and years and years, and it's just my home away from home. It's my safe space, and whenever I got any problems, once I'm put my cleats on, I know I'm playing, everything just goes away, and I got 90 minutes of where nothing else matters, and I'm in my element.
Lastly, what's your favorite aspect of being here at Carlow?
I like how all the professors are very down to earth. It's a small school, so everybody knows everybody. There's no escaping that. Um, Great connections. You got professors that are in every little aspect involved in the school. To throw out one, Gene, he's my guy. I also work for him as well. Um, but yeah, it's a lovely school. You got other schools surrounding it, so it's not in the middle of nowhere like others. And it's a great place to be.
Well, certainly, I'm sure the Celtics faithful are glad that you're here as well. Nico, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you.
That is Nico Bell here on the season preview.